Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, so let's get into this. We are going to take a look at the breath of fresh air storyline here for our Sagittarius. We have got the Eight of Swords along with the Four of Cups. That's actually stuck energy, but we could also have somebody recognizing that it is an illusion that they are stuck. They are sitting right there with their back against this beautiful tree of life. Sometimes we have that breakthrough where we think, I'm stuck in this rut, and we don't realize maybe we're not stuck. Maybe we're like planted and growing. Sometimes we go through growth spurts in life where we have to establish like our root system, and then we see everything else take a big jump. If you look at the way plant life grows, for example, you know, your most plants have to actually give them a little bit of time to kind of get their little root system built into the soil first, and then you see them grow into these gorgeous magnificent trees. So I think if Sag had felt like, man, I have not been growing much, I've been up here in the atmosphere, and now wait a minute, maybe that's an illusion. Maybe I've been imagining that I haven't had success when I'm sitting right here next to it. Maybe my life hasn't been, like stalled out. Maybe I've been deepening my roots, gaining in strength. There's a lot to be said for times where life seems a little calm, even boring, but maybe it's like, but it's the absence of drama. And maybe, it's a time to replenish, or like I said, a time to become more powerful. We have the Nurturer of Cups. This is actually the Queen of Cups, but has a king on the card. So again, I look at it as somebody who's got like really great divine masculine, feminine energy here, like super balanced, perhaps. Very powerful, very beautiful energy. We have the World card. That world is new beginnings, and we have all of this like sacred geometry there in the background. I feel like this is in somebody's subconscious there. I think Sag is starting to feel, wait a second, I felt stuck, and now I'm realizing I feel better. I feel emotionally stable. I feel like maybe this was the delay I needed, or the seemingly like quiet time that I actually needed. Maybe I haven't been stuck. Maybe I've been repairing, resting, restoring myself. Because man, I do feel better. So sometimes that's what it takes is somebody else to point out. Because my impression right now is we have a Sag who's maybe been chiding themselves. I haven't done enough. I haven't broken free of this. I haven't, sometimes we get really harsh with ourselves, and we start being our own worst critic, and we, tell ourselves that we haven't done enough. We haven't been successful enough, blah, blah, blah. And in reality, we need an outsider to say, haven't done enough, darling. What are you talking about? You are contributing human being to this planet. You are born here and now because you're supposed to be here with the rest of us. You give light to other people. To me, this feels like we have a Sag who's actually incredibly generous. They may lift up others all the time. They could be a very spiritual person. They could be somebody who has a way of like touching other people's hearts, and they may do it on a far grander scale, and they don't even know it. They haven't seen it that way. I definitely feel like as our character perceives their own life achievements and realizes Sag's essence is important in this world. Everything that Sag gives, their emotional support, that is a very real thing. I think Sag makes other people feel better, but Sag didn't even think of that as like a huge contribution that they make, and that they are valued for, and that other people, want Sag in their life because of this energy that they produce. It's very beautiful, and it's very kind. And I just okay, we have a Two of Cups too. I'm wondering if Sag was harshly judging themselves for a period of time because maybe they were single and, not meeting the right person. And maybe I'm just meant to be alone. Maybe I don't have that much to contribute. Oh my gosh. Everyone is single at different points in their life. And there's good reasons for that, because sometimes we're preparing for the right person to come into our lives and we don't even know it. Sometimes we need some time to just do what we need to for ourselves. And it's a wonderful opportunity to not have a partner. Partners are wonderful, but there are times when we can't forget we have to have a good relationship with ourselves too. And so I'm going to say that this is like Sag is just having this total mindset shift, and it's all clicking for them. I haven't been sitting around twiddling thumbs doing nothing. I haven't been by myself. I haven't been, somehow just not progressing in life. I've actually been putting down roots, and my energy feels better now. And I feel like, oh, now this is what the universe was preparing me for. This is why I had that blissful bit of downtime. And oh, this is very nice. Yeah, this is what I wanted. I'm super happy to now be able to, you know, blossom, advance, grow, get to that point of real success. With that Two of Cups, I do feel like Sag is calmer than they've been and more ready, or will be more ready, to meet a partner that they won't have a ton of trials and tribulations and struggles with, because Sag is really loving themselves and content with who they themselves are, and they know what they bring to the table. I really think, I'm not saying Sag ever needed other people to validate them, but I think to a certain extent, um, there's different times in our life where we may think that we need validation, and then we realize, no, it's me needing to support myself more. I know I've been through that before, and like sometimes stuff just throws us off our game, and then we worry that we're not enough, and then that's when it's maybe the best indicator perhaps that we actually need to love ourselves a little bit kinder, a little bit nicer. I always liken us to like our pets, right? We would never not feed our pets. We would never, if my baby dog, if I just see him, licking a toe a little bit more, oh, I'm checking that toe, making sure there's not a thorn in it. I think his tummy's a little bit off. I mean, I'm all about like, let me try some different food. Let me consult with his vet. I'm all over it. I would never not pay hyper focused attention on the well-being of my Aries. Yet, are we as gentle with ourselves? Are we as caring with ourselves? Are we as nurturing with ourselves? Do we recognize the little signs and symbols that we might be showing our own selves of like, I'm fatigued, I'm, feeling kind of sad? Do we recognize that in ourselves, or do we immediately just start to punish ourselves? Well, you know what? I don't know what's wrong with you, blah, blah, blah. This is where I think it's, if we were as nice to ourselves as we are to our pets, I think we would definitely look at ourselves in a different lens, and then maybe lift ourselves up a little bit more. And Sag has done this. Sag sees their worth, their value, and this is very beautiful. It's very exciting. Sag is a great blend of their divine masculine and feminine energies being in harmony. They're way more stable, especially emotionally. And it totally makes sense that now is a time that they'll attract the kind of partner who resonates with that same frequency. Somebody who's also stable and secure. Somebody who's not going to get into arguments and fights and expect Sag to somehow be punished for their past traumas, or want Sag to unfairly just crawl and say, oh, I'm sorry, just to make peace. No. This is somebody who doesn't want there to be conflict and fights. This is somebody who's all about, like, of course, humans will have problems, but the problem is what the problem is, not me and my Sag, and I think Sag is just now ready to meet somebody with that perspective, because they're going to be as whole as Sag is. Very nice realization. Like, all of this seems like realization, not that Sag is immediately meeting this person, but that they're understanding how they've changed. This is a great, we've done a retrograde message, but retrograde admittedly goes on until the 10th of August. And so if there is something where we're older and wiser and we're reconsidering some things in our life, that's how I view retrograde. It's just a chance to look at things that come back around on a cycle. I think this is Sag going, man, this is fabulous. Like, I'm happy. I'm content. This is good. I'm in a great place. We do have a 7 of Pentacles upright also. 7 of Pentacles is, it's the energy of huge growth, long-term harvest, long-term success. I think Sag is on the cusp of meeting somebody that will be absolutely fabulous. Could be a water sign, could be an earth sign, but I don't know if this person will come from a different cultural background than Sag does. I don't know if they themselves are going to just, I don't know. I feel like Sag is very multicultural. The fact that there's a global vision here. And if you're really going to be in harmony, in my opinion anyway, then you understand we are all a part of the same planet. We are all home. We are all right where we're supposed to be. Everyone has a place on this planet. We share this planet with each other. Everyone belongs here. And I think that perception of like, this is like a fundamental philosophical truth that is like, oh my gosh, I wish everybody could understand that. That would change everybody's heart and mind. They would be kinder to each other. They would be kinder to themselves if they could see it the way Sag does. We are all meant to be here. We have a place here. We deserve to be here. Every single one of us, wherever we are on this earth. We've got the Strength card upright. Really powerful forward motion. I feel like this Sag is going to be unshakable. Not only will they be meeting the love of a lifetime and have a much more productive relationship, because I think Sag and whomever their partner is, I could see them doing something big, something global, something to like lead the way, leadership roles. I don't know that Sag was ever wanting to be a leader, but I think that they're meant for that. I think that that's what they are going to be able to do. This is, I mean, maybe it sounds super altruistic, but I think that they've been meant to change some hearts and minds for the better by, bringing about truth that actually makes things more peaceful, more calm, more reassuring. Like leading people to a truth, perhaps, that, you do belong here, right? You do know that you are valuable. Just being a human on this planet, you already have inherent value to me and to the rest of the entire collective that inhabits this earth. And there's just something here about I'm almost thinking that this Sag and their divine counterpart could literally start to change, society, and by simple, sometimes truths are the simplest thing. And one elegantly phrased truth that just hits and a light bulb goes on. And it begins with a sense of, first off, I think Sag has this personal conviction with that Strength card there. But I also think that there's this reassurance. This is I feel better believing in this. I feel calmer. I feel kinder. I feel more connected to, look at the spider webbing of the sacred geometry all about the planet. It's like, oh my gosh, I am part of this big web. I am part of this entire, here we again have the tree of life, or the flower of life in sacred geometry. I'm a part of this. I'm supposed to be a part of this. I have a place in all this. Everybody equally has their place and deserves to be here together, sharing all of this. That simple truth, I think Sag will probably be able to say it much better than I did, but this particular fictional Sag, this is what we'll say, their counterpart believes also, but together they may find the right words to explain this, and together they may start to touch many, 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 many hearts. This is beautiful. Sag, I love this Sag. This is somebody I would be friends with in a flash. This is somebody I could definitely applaud for their very sophisticated thoughts. All right, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.